Hi everyone. So this week we're going to have a look at the Google Apps, which are a set of programs that you can use for your other subjects when you're at home, and we're going to come back and use it again in computing. So in order to watch this video, it's likely that you are on the school website. Now this is last week's page, but obviously you need to be on today's. Once you're there, we're going to then go and log into our email. So what you need to do is you will be going up to the top of your browser and opening a new tab, and then we can always get back to the school website once you've got there. So from there then you need to go to google.co.uk, and then at the top there click sign in. So you need to sign in with your username, which is your initials and 4 numbers. So I'm using a slightly different type of username here, but yours will be your initials and numbers. And then just enter your password. So once you're on here then, we're going to use this series of dots here. So at this point here, pause my video and go and log into your email and then come back again. So once we've got everyone back, so you're back here listening to the video again. So what we're going to do now, as I say, we're going to go up to this grid of dots here. We're going to click here. Now yours may be in a slightly different order, but what we're going to do is scroll down until we find Docs. So just click that once, and then let's wait for Google Docs to load up. So when we've got that, we're going to go to blank. Now that we've got our new document, the first thing we want to do is actually give it a name, otherwise we end up on our Google Drive with lots of things called untitled document. So just click in that box, so you put in your name and your class, and then if we just put on this one and call it Docs, because that's just all we're practicing, is just doing our document. So you can see there it's already saved this now, so as we work on this program it will save our work each time we go. First thing I want to do is we're just going to click there just so we change our font size to a 12. And we're going to start off by just typing a very short sentence. Make sure you get your capitals and your full stop at the end. Type in the cat sat on the mat and then press enter twice so that you've got a space. What we're going to do then is we're going to start adding adjectives to that sentence. So on the school website I will put a link to a PDF with some examples of adjectives on there that you could use. So I'm going to do some examples. I don't really want you to use my examples, I do want you to use your own, and there's quite a long list there to help you with that. If you've got some other ones, great, use those as well. So we might go next then. The cat sat on the red mat. Press enter twice. Okay, so you can see I've removed the adjective for that third one, and I've gone over here with something else, and we're just going to keep doing that and sort of playing with that sentence. So and what I want you to do is keep doing that until you have got 10 of these. Okay, so I'd like to do now, pause the video, do your 10 sentences, and then you can come back for the next section there. Okay, so if you've finished your 10 sentences, like I have here, then we'll move on to the next section. So what we're going to do in the next section is we're going to go just into the margin here, okay, and then you click and drag across to highlight. You can, and this depends on your device, you can go into the margin and double click and it'll start highlighting there, and if we triple click there, look, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, you get it there. So you've got to just go with the clicks very quickly, a triple click. So some people will find it easy to highlight, some people will find the triple click easier there. So once we've got that one, we're now going to go up here to the formatting tools. We've got that A there, and we just pick a colour. Pick colours that are going to show up on a white background. So, you know, don't pick yellow and very light pastel colours like that. So let's go with red on that one. I'm going to highlight this one. I'm going to pick a colour, so let's just get a different colour there. But this time, I'm also going to go here and click bold. So on the third one, let's get another colour, and this time we're going to do italics. So over here, let's get a different colour again, and this time we will do underline. So again then, let's go in there and pick a colour. Now if you've got to reuse some, that's fine. Doesn't matter which one you do now, so I'm going to go with the italics. But this time, I'm going to use the alignment one, so I'm going to make that one centre aligned. So I'm going to highlight this one. We're going to pick a colour. Might go bold this time, and then this one here, look, we're going to right align. So we're just going to do that until all 10 have just been formatted slightly differently. You might on some of your later ones maybe turn all 3 of them on there. Just realised I've hit the highlighter there, which I didn't really want to use, so let's put that back to none, and let's just go in there. And we've got our final one here, so that we've got all our different sentences. When you're done, it will still type in that last colour, so you need to turn off the bold, italic, underlining, make sure we're back to left aligned, and then back to black on there. So again, now this would be a good place, if you're working at home, to pause the video, put on your colours and your formatting, and then come back once you've done that. So at this stage now you should have finished all of those, so we're going to press enter another time just to leave ourselves a couple of lines. Just remembering from the previous section, before we start this, make sure that your text colour is on black and we don't have bold, italic or underlined, and we should be left aligned. So we're going to start with another sentence now, which is why we're leaving those 2 lines. Last year, then a comma, I went to Scotland in July. And then we're just going to play about with that sentence then. So okay, so last year I went to Scotland in a large group of friends, and we're just going to keep on working with some of these. So as we work through these, and you can change the place if you want, it doesn't have to be Scotland every time, you can pick other places. We're just trying to put something different there. So you could use, you know, July. Don't do every single month of the year, maybe just keep it to 1 or 2, but then think also of seasons like summer, winter, autumn, in the holidays, with my family, and such like that. So you can elaborate on the entire sentence. So last year I went to a beautiful place in Scotland with my family. Again, I want you to do 10 of these. So get your 10 sentences there. So at this point then, pause the video if you're working at home and get your 10 sentences, and then come back to the video again once you've done that. So when you've done your 10 sentences about going somewhere, what we're going to do next is we're going to start at the beginning of that list. So not above it, you just need to be to the side there, and we're going to click and highlight diagonally down there, to our very last sentence. And we've got our formatting tools here. So what we're going to do, we've got this one here with 1, 2, 3 written on it. So we're going to click the tab next to that and pick one of the top ones here. So we've actually got the numbers. So I go for that. Now what you see though, because we'd left lines, the program's not sophisticated enough to know that we don't want these as part of our list. So what you need to do is click there, and you need to use the backspace key, not the delete key, the backspace key. And then just click your way down. So that we've just got our 10 there. Then we're going to do the same as we did with these. So each one we're going to highlight. Now if you notice, when you start highlighting, it doesn't highlight the number, but it will colour it once you're there. What I want us to add this time is a highlight colour. So again, you've got to think of the colour you've picked and make sure it's actually going to stand out on your background there. So that's not particularly good, so let's maybe go with yellow on the black there. So I'm going to highlight this one. So I might go maybe for a dark blue background, and this time then let's go for white text. So again, let's pick our background first. So let's go with that very dark green and maybe a light yellow on top of that. And then as we start going through these, let's start adding in again some of the bold, italic and underline, just so that we're getting a practice each time at using some of those. Maybe as we're working through these, we'll put on each of those and use some of the formatting alignment tools here. So just keep doing that until you get all the way down to number 10. So again, at this point, people working from home, pause the video, go and do your formatting on this list. Okay, so if you've got all of your formatting done on those, we're going to do again. You can see I'm getting fairly close to the bottom of this page now. So I'm going to click there, use the backspace, and then use the backspace again to get rid of the numbering. If you can't manage to do that, press enter and then just go up to the numbers. Don't worry about the tab this time, and just click once there. I need to turn my text colour back onto black. I'm turning off the bold, and then just press enter until we get onto a new page. So this time we're going to do a slightly longer sentence. This is quite a famous one because it's used in typing. This is a sentence that uses every letter on the keyboard. So I've just realised I'm typing that I've still got the highlighting on, so let's turn that one off. Let's go put some punctuation in this. You wouldn't normally use it if you were just testing the keyboard, but we'll put it in on this one. Okay, so now, similar to what we did right at the very start with adding different adjectives in, so we can change this sentence a little bit. So we could change quick to slow. And we keep on going with that. So we need again 10 sentences based around this. So the next one might be that we change that word there, lazy. Now before you go with this, we're going to now try to use a slightly quicker way of doing this. So I'm going to highlight that first sentence. Now the best way to do if you're on a laptop or a PC is to use Ctrl and C to copy. If you're not, or if you're not too confident with that, go up to edit and copy. So now we're going to click here, we're going to press enter, and either use on your keyboard Ctrl and V, or we can go edit, paste. Press enter again, edit, paste. Enter again, edit, paste. So we're going to keep doing that until we've got 10 sentences in total. So we've got our 10 sentences. So now, when we're formatting, there's also a quicker way of doing this. Again, depending what device you're on, you might have to do it slightly differently. So we can click there and we can use the delete key and put our word in. Now what's better is if you double click a word, so usually you need a mouse for that, and it will highlight the word. Now we don't need to delete it, we just type over the top of that. And then put our space back in again. So I'll show you that one more time. We double click, notice it will leave the comma alone. So it could be the lazy brown fox jumped over the very quick dog. So again, just by double clicking them and then typing over the top of each of those. So at this point, so you can finish off your 10 sentences again, pause the video and get your 10 sentences in. But once you've done your first one, you can, remember, highlight it, edit, copy, make sure you leave lines in between, and then edit, paste to get your first 10, and then we can double click on these. You can also change some of the other words in there. Okay, so the lazy brown badger, just an example. Okay, so you can just work your way through with those sentences. So pause it, do those, and then come back again. So once you've got your 10 sentences, we're going to do again now, we're going to start in the margin next to the first sentence, and we're going to highlight down, and then near where we used the numbered list before, now we've got the bullet points, the bulleted list. So it doesn't really matter which one of these you pick, that's up to you. I'm just going to pick the first one. Again, just like before, because we've left spaces, it's trying to bullet those. So we're going to click there, and we're going to backspace on each of those just to tidy things up. Once we've done that, we're again going to highlight these. Okay, so I'm not going to use the colour this time, I'm just going to go as quickly as we can through the bold, italics and underline. So this time we're just trying to speed it up a little bit so that things don't take too long as we're working our way through our different sentences. So our final part here then is we're going to now highlight those, and up here we've got our fonts, and I'm going to change the fonts. So try and stick to fonts that we can actually read, and do each of these sentences in a different one. Okay, so that's slightly difficult to read, but it's okay, we can still just about see it. So we just highlight each sentence and we're working our way through with the different fonts that are in this program. Okay, and we keep on doing that until we've got all of our sentences highlighted in that way. So when you've done that, if you've got time and you want to go back and colour them, that's fine. Then just go back, put some colour on some of these. Okay, if it's getting towards the end of your lesson time, don't worry about doing the colour on any of those in that last section. Just one final thing again, if you've got time. If you haven't, don't worry too much about it, but just so that everyone knows where it is, I'm just going to highlight these. Whichever font we're in, we've got our different sizes there. So if I click there, I can change into different sizes. Usually for writing, we try and use a size 12 or a size 10. We don't use anything larger than that unless we're doing a poster or something. On these today, you can use a slightly bigger one, but try to keep it on one line. So you see how that's gone back to 2 lines now. So we need to be somewhere a little bit smaller. So I'd say try and keep it to maybe So 10, 11, 12, 14, somewhere around there. Again, if you don't have a lot of time, don't worry about that bit. If you do have more time, go back and do some of the other parts with your first 10 sentences. So it might be that we put bullet points on them, it might be that we highlight them and we change the size and the font on each of these. Once you're done with any of this, what you need to do then is go to this one, open the home page. So that should take you back to Google. Okay? If it doesn't, then you can just go back to opening a new tab and go to Google that way. So you should still be logged in. So this time now we're going to go back to those dots for Google Apps, and this time we're going to go into Google Drive. So here is the document that we've been working on. We can double click that to open it up. So if we were going to print it or if we needed to bring it into school, then our document is there. On the website there is a video that shows you how to email this document to your teacher. So if your teacher doesn't want you to do that, then they will tell you in the lesson, but otherwise email the document to your teacher and the video on the webpage will show you how to do that.